Hello and welcome. My name is Michelle. I am your emotional resilience coach, and it is fabulous to have you join me today. What I'm busy chatting about at the moment is the basics of what is emotional resilience. What does it look like in practice? If this resonates with you, if you are sick and tired of being sick and tired and you just want to take your power back and no longer be a victim in your own life, if you are tired of just surviving, pushing through the grudge of just living and just going through the motions of the day, and you really want to just experience the wonders, the joys, the beauty that life has to offer, you are in the right place. What I like to do is teach you new ways of thinking, new ways of seeing, reframing the world so that you have a better, more positive, more fulfilling experience. If this sounds like something you want, please don't forget to hit like, subscribe, the notifications button. And as always, if there's someone you know in your life that this could help, please do share. All right, so we are busy with the series on what is emotional resilience? What does it look like? All right, so we've spoken a little bit in the previous videos. Just to recap, we've spoken about what it looks like to be stuck in blame, what it looks like to be stuck in a place of justification, of making excuses, stuck in the place of making excuses. So just to recap, what is it? What is emotional resilience? Okay, emotional resilience, remember, is being able to bounce back. It's not about necessarily winning the day all the time. It's about being able to get up, dust ourselves off, and keep going, keep pushing, and keep moving forward. I've spoken to you about what it looks like when we are stuck in a place of blame, when we're stuck in a place of making excuses, justification, when we're stuck in a place of being critical and highly judgmental of ourselves especially and others. And the reason why I say ourselves especially is because the world around us reflects what's going on inside of us. So if we feel like we're living in chaos and mayhem, it's because inside of us is chaos and mayhem. All right, if we feel like we're living in a world of where people are just judgy all the time and unkind and highly critical, and we kind of try to protect ourselves, live our lives in a way where we're trying to protect ourselves from that, that's because that's what we do to ourselves all the time, okay? What resilience is about is changing the patterns of thinking and being and living that do not serve us. It's about reframing. It's about looking at life through new and different lenses, all right? Unfortunately, what's happened is most of us have come from caregivers, parents, people who have done the best they know how with what they have, but unfortunately they didn't have very much, and so they have passed on patterns of being that have not served us. And in today's one, what I'd like to talk about is living in self-pity. All right, and this is a very comfortable place to be for a lot of people because we feel justified there. When we come from a place of self-pity, we feel, you know what, like I have been through so much in my life, I can't possibly go through any more. All right, maybe these are things that we've said, or we will even say to someone, you have no idea how much I've been through. All right, and the person's probably thinking, yeah, I do. I've been through a lot too, okay? Or we will say something like, I can't do this. I've just had to deal with too much in my life, not this as well. All right. Can you hear that the language is very defeatist? The language is giving up. All right. Self-pity, giving up, to me, it's the same thing. All right. It's kind of like throwing up the white flag and saying, I can't do this. And the thing is that we can do this, but it's a thought. It's changing your thought. If you're going to sit there and feel, I can't do this, we're not going to be able to do it. We're going to remain victims in our lives. Things are going to just keep happening because life keeps happening. Changes are going to happen. People are going to move in our lives, out of our lives. Great things are going to come. Bad things are going to come. Life is going to carry on being life. And it's how we approach life that is going to make the difference on whether or not we are thriving, loving, enjoying life, or whether we're just being swept along the ocean with life and going, I can't do it. I can't do it. All right. Self-pity is very defeating, and I am guilty. I have days, I'm going to be totally honest, I have days where I will realize that my thought pattern is one of self-pity, and I will say to myself, okay, I'm going to allow it. All right. Again, no judgment. No criticism, no meanness, don't beat yourself up, don't be ugly. None of that works. So I say, okay, this is where I'm at right now, and I'm going to allow it, but I'm only going to give myself today, all right, or a couple of hours. That is it. I've got this amount of time, and then I have to work on shifting my way out of it, because sitting here is easy and it feels good, especially when you're tired. And it might be something that we are used to doing. We've seen it, but the problem is not conducive to living a happy, fulfilling, wonderful life. All right. I'm not talking about grieving. I'm not talking about mourning. Those are very different emotions that require a process that we need to go through for different things in our lives. I am talking about the place of regressing to a child and sulking because we're not getting our own way, because life is not going our own way, because things are not going the way we think they should go, because people aren't showing up the way we think they should, because things are not happening according to the way we envision it should be happening, which again is life. And I always like to say that we are just all overgrown children having little tantrums, and it is no different when it comes to self-pity, where our tantrums might look different, but at the end of the day, it's still a tantrum. We're still sulking because things are not going according to plan. And that again is going to keep us in a state of victimhood. So I process the emotion. I call it for what it is. I say, oh, I'm having a pity party. Maybe I'm going to eat some chocolate. Maybe I'm going to just have a nap. Maybe I'm just going to sit here and sulk and feel sorry for myself for a little while. And I actually do that. I actually say, this is horrible. Shay, Michelle, this is like not what you wanted. And I really talk myself through it. Like, that was just mean, or that was just unkind, or that was just like felt really unfair. And I will kind of go through that with myself for, again, a limited amount of time, because remember, our emotions build momentum. It expands, it becomes bigger. And so I just come from a place of, okay, for a little while, and then I choose thoughts that serve me, to move me out of a place of self-pity. So it's really good to just ask yourself good, meaningful questions that allows you to shift out of that self-pity. Everything is rigged in my favor. How? What good has come out of this experience? Or if you're new in it and it's fresh, be open to what good is going to come out of this experience. Okay, what amazing things are going to happen. Again, I'm not talking about things that we're grieving. I'm just talking about little pity parties that we have. What fantastic experiences are going to open up for me? Okay, so this didn't happen, but what does God, universe, source, whatever you want to call it, what is in store for me? Because obviously something better is on its way. And allow yourself the space, have the capacity to open yourself up to those experiences, to search for it, to look for it. And as I've said so many times before, what you search for, it comes into your experience. It comes into your existence. So pity parties, things not going our own way, having our own little childlike tantrums. Allow yourself the grace to have them for a short while if you have them, and then move out. What I have found in my experience is my need for those pity parties have become less and less and less. The time frame in which I need to indulge myself in that space has become less and less and less. And it will become smaller and smaller and smaller for you as you become more practiced at living your life in another way. What we practice is what we become good at. And living a fulfilling, happy, thriving life is something that we get to consciously choose every day. I don't know why it's easier to live in negativity. I don't know why I think it's because these are patterns that we learn from young. These are ways of being that are just familiar to us. And so it's easy for our brains to perpetuate that because this is what we were downloaded with when we were children. But as we grow up, as we become adults, as we take responsibility for our lives, for a while, we're going to have to consciously choose all the time the stronger, better, happier choice, which, yes, initially will take more work, will take more effort, will take more focus and awareness, and we're going to slip, and that's okay. That's all right. Just look at all the wonderful progress you have, man, and go, you know what? I'm doing amazing. Where I was a month ago, where I was 6 months ago, where I was 3 years ago, completely different place. The way I see and view myself and the world, it's not even in the same ballpark. All right? We just keep practicing. Resilience means that healing, as you know, is not linear. We're going to keep falling over. We're going to have to pick ourselves up. We're going to have to try again. And some days are going to be fantastic. Other days we're going to be tired and it's going to be harder. We're going to be more emotional. We're going to be sick. Maybe our hormones all over the place. Whatever it is that we're going through, we're going to have this experience and we're going to be like, ugh, it's okay. Tomorrow's a new day. Tomorrow we can be resilient. We're going to bounce back. We're going to lift ourselves up. We're going to dust ourselves off and we are going to move forward better because we have these skills, because we have the awareness, because we want to reach the higher version of us, because we know that that is where we thrive, rather than just go through the emotions, and survive. If this is something that is resonating with you, please do hit like, subscribe, the notifications button. If there's any area in which you would like to be coached, please do let me know in the notifications button. Tell me your thoughts, tell me what you think, tell me what it is you need guidance on in taking your power back and no longer being a victim in your own life. Have a most fantastic